So, what's up, guys? I'm not really sure what to talk about for today, for this week's video, but I think I'm going to go into how your need for control and your need to control everything in your life. And I'm trying to talk in a certain way. I'm not necessarily talking about if you're the kind of person that is consciously thinking I need control, because I don't think that any of us consciously think I need control. I need control. You know what I mean? I don't think that any of us are doing that. I think that for most of us, although this isn't backed by any facts or statistics, that's just a feeling. So feelings are extremely unstable. But I have a theory that most of us don't want to be the kind of person who wants to have control all the time, at least deep down in our heart. At least that's how I feel personally. Maybe different for you, and I am positive there's people out there that consciously think, I want control all the time. But basically what I'm saying is, have you ever been sitting in a quiet place or a place that is not posing any threat to you, and you seem to be a little anxious. You seem to be a little, I don't know, off. You have this knot in your stomach, and you don't understand what's really going on. For me, it would happen a lot when I was in crowds, and it would be peaceful, and the crowd would be peaceful, and I'd be sitting in the crowd. I'm actually about to go to a wedding today, so I'm going to have to overcome that quote-unquote fear, and I'd be sitting in the crowd, and I would be actually insanely anxious. Insane. But I'd be at peace. But whenever life would start getting hectic, I start to feel a little better about myself. I start to feel a little good. Whenever I can load up my calendar and my to-do list with a bunch of different things, then I start to feel good and I start to feel at peace because it feels normal to me. But when things start to slow down, it don't feel good. I immediately get that knot in my stomach and the anxiousness comes back. And I have a theory. I'm being trained by a master of Bagua It's a martial art. And he showed me some techniques, some breathing techniques, and some meditation techniques. And some avenues of thought that I've never thought of before in my personal life. I've grown up as a Orthodox Christian. This man has experienced Buddhism, he's experienced Taoism, he's studied a lot of the Chinese philosophies and religion, and the Chinese think a lot differently than we do. And trust me, this is getting back around to the anxiousness while sitting still, or just the random fear that you feel for no reason. This is getting back around to that. And he's been teaching me for over like a year and a half in the ways of like traditional Chinese martial arts, but actually using it in a real way, because we all know that traditional Chinese martial arts has a bad rap of being ineffective, which, I mean, if you're getting into a punching match with a guy, you probably should be punching back or running away. Most of the time, you should be running away. Unless you have to protect somebody, then you have to fight. But punch if you can, and use compassion when you're fighting him. Don't try to kill somebody. That's what I've been taught by this man. And he's been a security guard. He's been out there. He's done real stuff, real work in the world. And this comes back around to it because the things he's taught me about how to sit still, and there's literally a breathing technique and a moving the energy and the blood around your body sort of technique that he's taught me, and it helps you sit still. So if you're like me and you have that problem of not being able to sit still and just being anxious when you're sitting still, and you have to always be doing something, your brain always needs something, especially in today's world of shorts and TikTok and all that, this stuff might be for you. I'll just shout that out real quick. Look up Taoist breathing method, Taoist breathing method, and that'll be a breathing method. You should see somebody standing with their legs slightly bent, moving their arms up and down, or holding their arms out in front of them. Something like that. I would encourage you to study it if you have the problem that I do. But I'm bringing this up because for, 3 days in a row, before these 3 days, I was scrolling through YouTube and saw some guy on a podcast saying, the problem is today that people just don't know how to sit still for 30 minutes with their thoughts. And I took that literally, so I was like, you know what, I might as well try that. So for the next 3 days, that day and 2 days later, I sat still for 20, 30 minutes. Just sitting on my chair. Nothing in front of me. In my room. And it was genuinely, like, life-changing philosophical thought came out of those 20, 30 minutes. So I guess like an hour, basically, within those 3 days. And that's what I would like to encourage y'all to do. You don't have to do that breathing method I told you, but if you have trouble like I do, sit still. And pray to God every single day. In the morning if you can, for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, something like that. But sit still and meditate at the end of the day, beginning of the day. I don't care what time you do it. And you'll start to realize, maybe like I did, I'm at a different part of my journey than most of you are, but I started to realize that all of my fear was completely made up by myself. My anxiousness, every time I sat down in silence, there was no threat to me. And I was sitting down in silence with no threat to me, and my anxiousness and the knot in my stomach came up. And I slowly kind of felt like the anxiousness and the energy and the craziness to kind of like rise to my head. And I asked my teacher about it. He told me it's perfectly normal. You are accepting the things, that knot in your stomach is all the things like you never let go of, dude. And you are seeing it, because when that knot kind of rose to my head, I started seeing stupid stuff, like in first grade when somebody told me I was stupid, and when I got hit in the face with a water bottle. That's something I didn't even really remember. Stupid stuff that hurt my feelings as a kid, and I was like, what, how am I seeing this? I this stuff doesn't affect me. This is 10, 15 years ago, and it's stuff I never let go of. And I was and I'm not necessarily keeping myself busy by working a lot and doing a lot of stuff and ignoring it. But what I am doing is finding another way to let it out. And I would have a lot of anger problems as well before this. And now I don't have near as many. I'm still working on it, for sure. For sure, still working on it. But I was sitting there, completely anxious, sitting still in my room with no threat at all. The safest place that a human can be is in their habitat. And I realized, wow, I'm making this up. This is all coming from me in my brain, which is not me. That's philosophy from the Taoist method, which is not you. Your brain's not you. Your soul is you. Your brain is just a tool that you use to interact with this environment that you were in. And it genuinely helped me sitting still for that 30 minutes. I was able to go do things that previously I had not been able to do, like sit in a car ride and let somebody drive me for a couple hours or 30 minutes, even to 15 minutes really, would freak me out before that, because I didn't like being sitting still, and I didn't like playing on my phone because I believe it is disrespectful to be around somebody and play on your phone. So it was making me anxious. But now I've agreed today to go on a 3-hour car ride to Joplin, Missouri with my fiance's family to meet her up there, because she's already up there. And I don't feel nearly as anxious as I ever did, because I'm accepting the fact that I can sit still. And if I feel anxiousness, I know it's not me. It's a feeling. And my brain is just going to try to write a story for it and make me scared. And if you feel like that, that's what's happening. Your brain is writing a story and it's trying to make you scared. And yeah. So if you have trouble sitting still, sit still. Just double down on it. Just sit still. Expect something to happen, but don't expect anything to happen at the same time. Paradox it. Thanks, guys. Hope you enjoyed this one. Hope it helped out. Everybody says like and subscribe, which is a good business model. So do like and subscribe. It actually does help out, like, the YouTube algorithm. I hate saying that because it's super cliche, but it actually does. Like, I've studied this stuff. It real like when you like and you comment, even if it's a negative comment, it still pushes the video out to more people because YouTube likes it, and all the other social media apps like it when people interact with their platform, because it keeps them on the platform just that little bit longer. The 5 seconds it takes you to comment even something negative or something stupid, put a couple dots down. The social media companies love it, dude. So yeah, every time you hear somebody say that, that's why. I'm trying to study business as well at college, and just on my free time as well. I really enjoy the money aspect and the marketing aspect of that, but I don't want to be. I want to be a good Christian in the marketing world and not dishonest. I mean, I don't know if anybody's ever done that or been able to do it, but we will see. Anyway, that was a side rant, but yeah, thanks guys. See you later.